Hi everybody, this is Carrie Wastal. I'm the director of the Muir College Writing Program, and I'm here with Assistant Dean of Advising Kathy Baez, who made this whole webinar possible. So I'm very grateful to her today. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the Muir College Writing Program, and I will focus on Muir College Writing Program, or MCWP 125, which was the course that we've developed especially for transfer students. What I say about 125 is also applicable to Muir College Writing Program 50, which is the second of the two sequence courses, 40 and 50. Transfer students who have completed an IGETC or an equivalent course at their community college that would be acceptable for IGETC have the option of taking 50 or 125. However, there are some reasons that I think the 125 is a much better course for you. So let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to introduce myself a little bit first, just to tell you that I am also a transfer student. I'm a product of the California public education system, and I went to community college, I went to Cal State University, and then I finally came here and did my graduate work at UC San Diego. So it served me well. If you have any questions about that at some point, you're welcome to ask me, and at the end of this session, or webinar, we will have time for questions and answers, a Q&A session, and you also can have my email and email at any time. I can't answer advising questions, but I can certainly talk to you about what the writing program does and how we do it. Okay, so during this webinar, we'll be talking about the program itself, the course 125, the difference between Muir College Writing Program 125 and the other courses, the assignments. We'll have a little section on tough love, and then a Q&A wrap-up. So I wanted to let you know that the program itself promotes critical reading of text, analytical writing, and analysis and argument. One thing I do want you to know is what Muir College Writing Program is not, because there can be some confusion about that. We are not connected to a Department of Literature or English. We are not an English class, there's a difference. Instead, we are a composition course that focuses on academic argument. We're not part of a college core curriculum, which some of our other colleges here on campus have, most notably Revell and ERC, ERC's MMW courses. We're not reliant on a canon of the great works, and we're not focused primarily on products, meaning genres. So it's not necessarily the end result that we're as focused on during the course, but it certainly has a role. You do have to produce, a good end product. What we are interested in especially are the ways that authors, including student authors like yourselves, construct their arguments instead of the summary of arguments. The use of the elements of argument to construct arguments based on the analysis of the evidence that you have gathered. So this is a big difference. We're not looking so much as what an author says, but we're looking at how they say it. It's the difference between saying there's a house, it has all this furniture inside it, and in looking at a house and saying, now how did they construct those walls? How did they pour the foundation? What's holding it all together? So in your classes, you will read, discuss, and analyze arguments and the kinds of texts that are used in university-level classes. So we use a variety of texts. They might be from history, they might be from science, they might be from sociology, psychology, economics. It just depends. You will also write analytical arguments informed by your own research. Don't get worried. You don't have to conduct a research project or an experiment. It's just library research. Also, you will research an issue of your own choosing under a particular course's umbrella topic. And all of our 125 courses and 50 courses have different topics. You also will have one-on-one conferences with your instructor 2 times a quarter. In lieu of classes for 2 weeks, you have conferences. So that gives you some one-on-one time with your instructor to talk about your writing. And you could have going to 2 classes that week. So here's our approach to composition, which is based on a process model of writing. So in the process classroom, what happens is that you receive comments for revision from your instructor. You go through multiple drafts, so you don't have to come up with 10 or 12 pages overnight. You learn from reading your colleagues' arguments. You incorporate comments from your readers into your next draft that includes your colleagues and your instructor. You read and analyze the kinds of arguments used in university-level courses. You write analytical arguments informed by your research. You will investigate an issue of your own choosing, as I said, under the course umbrella topic. And you do get to have one-on-one conferences with instructors 2 times a quarter. That is part of a process approach. Here's the advantage. First of all, 125, and this is the difference between Muir College 50. This is unique to 125. It's taught by lecturers and professors. So it's taught by folks who are professional instructors at this point. They have received their terminal degrees. It's an upper division credit course, so you get that if you need it. I'm sure a lot of you come in with enough lower division credit as it is. It has a community of transfer students. Everyone in the class is a transfer student. It's capped at 20 students, so there will only be you and 19 other students in the classroom at the most. You can take care of the GE, the General Education Requirement, with a single class, which is always nice. And you're done with the course by the Friday of week 10. Recent topics that we've had is just to give you a little flavor of the kinds of things that we talk about. One is American myths. Another is the California Republic. Considering innovation, which especially is good for our tech people here on campus. Exhibitions and displays, discusses museums. Quantifying happiness, which is, of course, I've been teaching, is how do you measure happiness and what is happiness. The C, and substance abuse, context and conversations. Here are the 3 formal writing assignments. The first assignment is an annotated bibliography, which is something where you research and you collect the different articles or books that you think you need for your research project. A research proposal in which you simply write out, this is what I found out so far, this is what I need to know, and I'm proposing to do this kind of research on this particular issue if you'll just give me the time or the fellowship money or whatever it is that you might be proposing. The last assignment, which is the longest, is a research-based argument. That's at the point where you put together pieces from your annotated bibliography, from your proposal, and you integrate them into an argument. Now, here's the tough love part. We'll talk about enrollment, wait lists, attendance, and late work. So here's the enrollment information. First pass enrollment priority will be given to transfer students during their first 3 quarters per required course at UCSD. After the first 3 quarters, transfer students will be eligible to enroll during the second pass enrollment period. Notification of whether or not you've been pre-authorized is posted in your Virtual Advising Center, the VAC, the day before registration starts during regular quarters. If you have more than 90 cumulative units and have not received a pre-authorization message in your VAC, please come into our office or send a message to the Virtual Advising Center, and in the topic area, choose Muir Writing in order to be cleared to enroll. This is just the shorthand version, so enrollment priority. In the first 3 quarters, you have first pass enrollment, which is your priority. 3+ quarters, or actually it should say 4+ quarters, you have a second pass enrollment, which is no priority for first pass. And here's the enrollment for 90 units. If you have 90 cumulative units, and you're not pre-authorized on the VAC, then send a message to the VAC and choose as your topic Muir Writing. Here's the scoop on the wait list. We don't have exceptions to this because the classes are in high demand. Oftentimes our wait lists are up to 15 people. Therefore, the program has the following waitlist policy. You must attend every class from week 0 through the Friday of week 2. This is to hold your place on the waitlist in the event that a seat opens up. If you miss a class during this time, you will not be able to enroll in the class. In other words, you will lose your place in the waitlist line. Talk to your instructor at the end of the last class of week 2. Then talk to the program representative in the Muir College Writing Program office who might be able to help you if a seat opens up in another class. She will not be able to help you if you have not attended all classes to date. After your initial contact with the program rep, leave any follow-up messages on the back. There's the website. Choose Muir Writing as the reason for your question. Here's the short version. If you waitlist, there is no guarantee, even if you attend every class and you can stay on the waitlist, we can't let you in unless somebody else withdraws or drops the course. A bird in the hand can still fly away. So in other words, you might be on the waitlist, you might be number 1 on the waitlist, and if you miss one of the classes during weeks 0 to 2, you will lose your place. Here are some attendance policies. So since we're in such high demand, we really need you to be there, as I said. And because of this, too, Muir classes are highly interactive. To make the most of the classroom experience, we have a very strict attendance policy. That attendance policy is a maximum of 2 absences. These absences are meant for emergencies, for illness, accidents, and the like. You have a maximum of 2 tardies over 5 minutes. 2 tardies is the equivalent of 1 absence. And the same policy applies to leaving class early. Unfortunately, this is because some students will come very late every day and they'll leave really early every day. And it really misses and breaks into a lot of the course time, especially when we're workshopping each other's papers. A missed conference is considered an absence. The conferences are 20 minutes long and you only have to make 1 during the week. So we really expect you to be there. The tardy policy is the same for conferences as it is for class meetings. Work must still be completed on time unless you make arrangements with the instructor ahead of the absence. So here's the quick version. This is our attendance policy. You have 2 absences as the maximum for any reason. You don't need to explain to your instructor what happened. Those are yours. Late arrivals, tardy, is a 5-minute limit. If you're tardy twice, that is equal to 1 absence. If you're absent 3 times, you will receive an F for the course unless you withdraw from the course. If you're absent twice and tardy 2 times, that's the equivalent of 3 absences, you will receive an F for the course. Due dates and late drafts. The program also has a strict due date policy for all writing assignment drafts. All drafts, not just the final drafts, must be uploaded to Turnitin.com through Canvas, which is our learning management system, by the deadline. For every 24-hour period that a draft is late, the paper grade will be lowered by 1/3 of a letter grade. This includes weekends and holidays. After 3 missed 24-hour periods, the final letter grade will be an F. Late drafts will not receive comments for revision from the instructor. So all drafts must meet all deadlines. A 24-hour period, the grade is lowered by 1/3 of a letter grade, and late drafts do not receive instructor comments for revision. If a draft was in time, let's say your paper was going to receive a B+ at the end of the day. However, if any one of the drafts that go into that paper is late, by 1 24-hour period, the grade is lowered 1/3 to a B. 2 24-hour periods, now the paper has a B-. 3 24-hour periods, the paper is down to a C+, so it's dropped a whole letter grade. 4 24-hour periods later, your paper receives an F. And a 24-hour period is, let's say you have a deadline at 9:30 a.m., the paper is loaded to turn it in at 10 a.m., that's 1 24-hour period. And as I said, this includes weekends and holidays. So as you can see, these are some pretty strict guidelines or deadlines that we have, or policies. Now, how is this course going to help me or going to help you? It helps because what you learn in Muir College writing program courses is transferable and applicable to such things as scholarship applications, special academic co-curricular program applications like study abroad, job applications, GRE and MCAT exams, graduate school application letters, your other UCSD courses. And really our charge as a writing program, as I see it, is to prepare students for the kinds of writing and reading that they will encounter at their other courses here at UCSD. Now, campus resources, this is some good news. We have OSD, we have tutoring, the Commuter Lounge, and the Basic Needs Hub. Not all of these relate directly to the Muir College writing program, but I still think they're really good sources for you. So for students with disabilities, according to the Office for Students with Disabilities, OSD, students requesting accommodations for this course, Muir writing, due to a disability must provide a current authorization for accommodation letter issued by OSD. And I'll just jump ahead and say we have a program representative or OSD liaison, and that's who you'll have to get in touch with. But be very careful because accommodations from OSD are not retroactive. So if you wait until week 3 or week 4, you might not have that accommodation letter in place till week 5 or 6, maybe even week 7. It takes them quite a while to go through these because you can imagine sometimes we have a lot of them. So please get started right away on getting that accommodation, even if you think you won't need one. It's always better to have one in place. Tutoring and academic support. We're very excited actually to be able to say that we have 3 different places for academic support and tutoring. First one, which is most applicable to us, is the Writing Hub. This is often manned by former Muir College Writing Program students. So if you get a tutor there, you can always see if a Muir Writing student was available. There is also the Office of Academic Support and Instructional Services, or OASIS. This provides academic assistance, particularly for underrepresented and underserved students. And they do have tutoring appointments and they have drop-ins. The Teaching and Learning Commons is a big umbrella program, which the Writing Hub fits underneath that. But there's also academic support for other courses, subjects, and projects. You can have group and individual support. It focuses on the writing and the STEM fields. And that's at the basement or the bottom floor of Geisel Library, and that's where you'll find the Writing Hub too. This, I think, is good information to have if you're a commuter, and a lot of transfer students are commuters. We have a Commuter Lounges and we have commuter groups. So each college and the Price Center have Commuter Lounges that any student from any college can use. So if you're a Muir student and you find yourself on the Warren campus, you can use their lounge too. Commuter Lounges are equipped with kitchens, oftentimes microwaves, sofas, chairs, tables, lockers, power outlets to charge your things. Muir Commuter Lounge El Portal is just north of the MOM, or middle of Muir, Coffee and Market. The Women's Center at the Old Student Center on Muir campus, which is very close to us, has a shower available for any student to use. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 7, and on Fridays, 9 to 3. Six Colleges Commuter Lounge near Pepper Canyon is open 24/7. I was not able to find the open hours for our El Portal Lounge here at Muir, but I imagine that those will be on pretty soon. And I really liked this quote, so I threw it in here. This is by Octavia Butler, who is a novelist, and she says, "You don't start out writing good stuff. You start out writing crap and thinking it's good stuff, and then gradually you get better at it." That's why I saw one of the most valuable traits is persistence, and I agree with that. So this is my little coaching tip for you, which is that persistence is not just something you need at Muir Writing. Persistence is something that helps you your entire career at UCSD. Oftentimes, the smartest person on the campus, which we have a lot of smart people here, are not the ones that succeed. It's the people who know how to persevere and who know how to put their heads down and just get to work. You have lots of places on campus to get help with that, and I think you reminding yourself that it's just all about persistence is something that will really get you through your experience here at UCSD. So just to let you quick recap, Muir 125 is designed for transfer students. It's taught by professional instructors. And I threw this picture in here of a free climber. His name's Chris Sharma, and he's climbing up one of the redwoods. And I put that in there because John Muir, your college namesake, is also, part of Muir Woods is the redwood forest. And it shows him free climbing a redwood, which he did for the UC Berkeley biology professors there. And I want you to just wanted to share with you that he had to be very persistent to get up that 220-foot redwood. So I encourage you to be very persistent. The Muir College Writing Program, we also call it MCWP. There's its website. You can get onto VAC. And as I've been saying, the topic, Muir Writing.